So this is an update on my 2017 Ford F350. It's a King Ranch with the 6.7 Power Stroke. I've got 7,800 miles on her and nothing significant to report. No issues. I've had one OCR regen, that's operator commanded regeneration. That happened at 7,132 miles. Prior to that, it's all been, all my regens have been on the highway. I've had one other regen after the OCR, that was also on the highway last week or something. I'm seeing at least one regen a week. They usually average between, I don't know, 250 and 375 miles is the typical average between regens. And it usually takes about anywhere between 20 and 28 miles to do a full regen from 100% to 0. So far, I'm really happy with the truck. The power versus the 6.7 Cummins in the Ram is very linear. Transmission is smoother. And I've had 4 Ram trucks. 3 of those Cummins diesels and 1 Power Wagon. Had a 99 Dodge Ram 2500 with the Cummins, that's a 5.9. I put 240,000 miles on her. I had a 2011 6.7 Cummins, put 140,000 miles on her. 2012 Power Wagon and a 2016 Ram 2500 with the Cummins, and I put about 77,000 miles on her. I've had no issues with the Rams, but I wanted something different. I've had 3 GM trucks and 4 Ram vehicles, and I just wanted something different, so I got the Ford. All 3 trucks are good trucks. There's no, well, this truck sucks, or Ford sucks, Ram sucks, GM, sucks. They're all good trucks. And if you think one truck is superior than the other, well, you're just ignorant. They all make good trucks. Anything man-made is not perfect. They're going to have issues, whether it's Ram, Ford, GM, Nissan, Toyota. I mean, they all have, they're not perfect. If you think these trucks are perfect, well, then, why don't you take a look in the mirror, because you're not perfect. No one's perfect. But, so there's no need to knock other vehicles or the brands. I've owned all 3. They all each have their quirks and their, pros and cons. For instance, Ram's Uconnect app is far superior than the Ford Sync 3. Far superior. I can monitor my truck anywhere in the world, turn on my truck, start the truck, open the doors, unlock the doors, lock the doors from anywhere in the world. And I did that when I was in Puerto Rico, and I had to start my truck at least, every couple weeks. I just used my app. Had a buddy of mine go out while he was still here at Fort Bragg just to verify that it was running, and sure enough, it works. Ford Sync 3 and the Super Duties don't have that option. I think it's available in the F150s, but not in the Super Duties. Also, Ram has the front sensors in the front, in the bumpers. Don't know why Ford doesn't do that, but whatever. But there's a lot of things about the Ford that I like that's just common sense. I like the push button start, where it has a green light on it letting you know that it detects the key. On my Ram, sometimes I have to push the button 2 or 3 times because it just didn't register the key. At least here I know if the truck registers the key or not. The jack and all the stuff to change the spare tire, it's in the back, in the back seat, easy to get to. Ram was more difficult to get to. Changing the oil filter on this thing is going to be a lot easier than the Ram. Easier access to the oil filter and so forth. Interior-wise, I like the interior. I love the panoramic sunroof of the Ford. I love the Ford tow mirrors. These power steps that come out is pretty awesome. Take a look inside the truck. It's the King Ranch interior. The Ram has more leather, like leather everywhere, and wood steering wheel, which I really miss, but that's okay. But for instance, so this right here is all leather, but Ram, all of this would be leather too, like real leather. Ford still uses a lot of hard plastics, but all 3 truck manufacturers use hard plastics. But Ram just has more leather. But overall, the Ford King Ranch, it's not as hardcore like the Ram with all the tooling and stuff that's in the seats. This is more like a urban cowboy kind of feel. And I like this. It's kind of more subtle, not as loud as I guess you could say. So I keep my truck pretty clean, as you can see. I'm just not a dirty individual. Some people like leave crap in their vehicle. I don't know why, but I keep my truck clean. I wash her usually once a week, vacuum her out, clean her out. So I love the flat floor. Something I think Ram and GM are now going to be offering in their future trucks. So it's about time. So I love this flat floor option. The back seats are huge. They're just massive. There's a lot of room back here. So ride quality of the Ford is better than the Ram. I've noticed that the Ford soaks up the bumps of the road a lot better. But that could be because I'm in a new truck and I've driven Rams the last, I don't know, decade or so. But she's a good truck. I'm very happy with her. Yeah, and I'm not sure about these full-on chrome wheels. I like them, but I kind of wish they had a little more. I don't know. I might swap them out for something not so chrome. I like chrome, but just something maybe two-tone look. So, this truck. One thing about this truck, it had the Super Duty lean, where it leaned like half an inch or 3/4 of an inch to the driver's side. That's pretty common in these Super Duties. So what I did, I ordered. Let me see if I can show you here. So that's some shims. This right here is a poly isolator from Ready Lift. This is PMF Manufacturing or Suspension sells these shims. They're about 1/4 inch, and you can stack them up to about 1 inch. And they're made specifically for the Super Duty lean. But I didn't want metal rubbing on metal, so I got this poly isolator from Ready Lift. You gotta buy it separate. And this in itself is about 3/4 of an inch total. So 1/4 inch here. This is like a little over. It's like almost half an inch. Total's 3/4 of an inch. The truck sits level now. It doesn't have that Super Duty lean. Now some people don't care, but me, I'm very particular. I can, this 3/4 inch lean. I noticed it right when particularly after I bought the truck and filled it up with fuel and noticed that, it's kind of leaning to the driver's side. That's a little weird. But now it sits even. It's 72 inches on this side, 72 on the other side, 75.5 here, and 75.5 on the other side. So it's now even. Before it sat, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch lower on the driver's side. So other than that, there's been no issues. I don't know if I'm gonna put a lift on her. She's pretty big in itself. She sits a lot higher than the Rams. But I might do a leveling kit and maybe some wheel and tire combinations. Not sure. So she is stock, 100% stock. I don't plan on doing anything. I might say that now, but anyways, well, she is.